Hi everyone, welcome back to another interesting vlog. So thank you all so much for your love and support on my vlogs and your nice comments. I really appreciate you all. I get to engage with it all. Please give my videos a thumbs up. Stick around with me furthermore because we have very interesting things to give you all. I've been a bit kind of busy this time around, but I am trying so hard to get in touch with you all and keep you engaged. Please subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe, and connect with me on my community tab. As you all know, it has been activated, and you can also follow me on Instagram, and my Instagram handle is success_and_ik. It's as easy as that. Okay. You know, migration can be a bit challenging and interesting. It can be interesting at the first time. Yes, just get into it, and it can also come with its own challenges, you know. So this is where there is migration and there can still be migration. So this is where expectation versus reality comes in. I'll leave you all to this, my young gentleman, to tell you more about it. Over to you, baby.
I'm just gonna try to. I'm not really a camera person, but I'm getting into the story every day, and yeah, hopefully people would like my face well enough. Before migrating to your dream country, supposedly a first world country by whatever index which they use to rank themselves, yeah, the picture on a migrant's mind is usually this picture perfect society where everything is in excess, where they've got all the social amenities in place, they've got finance, fund, money, they have opportunities to live their best life, they have the resources, they're going to garner the resources, everybody's super nice, all those dream things that we all see in movies, everything works well. For people that come from country where they face challenge with power generation and constant electricity, this society there's going to be absolute uninterrupted power supply. You know, those picture perfect concept, that is usually what beclouds the thought process of, you know, an intending migrant. Furthermore, socially, the thought process in the mind is that the kids are going to grow up to be super amazing children, achieving and surpassing every dream they ever had in their life. They and their spouses are going to have everything they ever wanted. They're going to have money, they're going to have everything they lack, they're going to have every amenities. Then why not? They're just going to be excellently happy and live happily ever after. That is the expectation. However, I'm going to bust your bubble, people. There is a reality which I'll leave you to be the judge if it sits well with the expectation. I am not sharing anybody's opinion. I choose to issue out a verbal disclaimer that this is my own personal thought. I am not bound by, you know, any of these things. I am not speaking for any authority. I'm not quoting any organization. I'm not referring to any society in particular. I'm just giving a general overview. So this video was made for this purpose, to just share my own idea and ideology, and I really apologize to anybody who may feel that what I say would not sit well with them. These are my thoughts, please. All right, kindly engage with this video in the comment section, like this video by smashing the thumbs up button, and then subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell as well, please. To really look at this whole thing in context, I would break down all of these things with different points. These expectations are very, very good to have. However, I'm a bit concerned because sometimes the reality does not usually tally with the expectation. Everybody expects that by migration their families are going to do a lot more better, and it's going to bring the family closer because they're going to have all the funding and everything they want. However, in reality, migration has been known sometimes to tear family apart. My reality point one is it can break families apart. You know, in originality, marriages has always demanded that both men and women sacrifice a considerable amount of their individual freedom to act in the interest of the family. However, in some sort of countries where people are more attracted to migrate to, some of the values and the way the society has been wired to reflect current economic reality does not really allow for that social sacrifice, that social give up of individuality, despite the fact that people come and grow as a family, but there is a strong emphasis on individuality. And sometimes with migrants, coming from a totally different background, totally different expectation, it hits them like cold water on a chilled morning. And if you do not manage it very well, families can break apart. I know so many families that have broken apart for the fact that they recently migrated and there were some social dynamics that did not really sit well. For example, a very good one is financial expectation. Most people from popular migrating countries, it's usually the expectation that the man or the husband would pay the bill, look after the wife and the children, and all that stuff, might be the one who works all the time and contribute to all that stuff. However, in most of these migrating countries, the reverse sort of start being the case, whereby everybody have to bring the same thing to the table. There's a popular concept from where we from come, where they talk say, your money, our money, my money, my money. Very little things like this, can really throw in new dynamics into a family setting. Then there is also the thing of myself, very individual focused in families. All those things can bring its own new dynamics into a family. I don't want to dwell so much on this, but these are very petty things, but I know so many lived experience whereby so many men have felt emasculated, or so many women have felt less than the women they felt they should be. For example, myself and Success, the concept is that as a Niger man, I have to look after her and all that stuff. And then if I wake up one day and I start telling Success that you have to take care of everything yourself and I just have to contribute, when we want to buy food and I say, Success, you have to pay 50 and all that stuff, so yeah, it can really break families apart. Career expectation. The beautiful picture is that you're going to go to the top of the career, but the reality is that when you migrate to a new society, some people would have to step down and scale down. I've seen so many engineers, so many well-read, experienced engineers, when they come into this new society, despite the fact that they've been receiving a lot of invites from overseas interview, when they get there, they're always hit with the stark reality that the system would not trust them. A lot of them would have to leave that their primary place of expertise to go and do menial job and the rest of them. So many people might have been managers, bank managers, and at the end of the day, they have to end up doing maybe menial job like cleaning or looking after social services, looking after people that need support. Not very skilled job. It can be very, very challenging, honestly. The system would not automatically take you up the rank. You would be tested. You must prove yourself. It's going to take time before you're trusted with the same level of responsibility that you are used to. That alone can affect income. That alone can throw new dynamics into families. I know so many doctors that have migrated to very advanced countries with the intent of practicing as doctors. Some of them never for the rest of their life practiced as doctors. In fact, the farthest they made was to become nurses. I know nurses who the farthest they made was to become nurse assistant, not just because they are good, but because of just the way the system works. My third reality versus expectation is societal expectation. Some people come with this very heightened expectation of these societies they migrate to from what they've seen in movies. I hope I'm not making this thing too long. That is going to be this perfect society where everybody's going to be very nice to you, everybody's going to be super nice to you, everybody's going to be lovely, everybody's going to be say hi, hey, the good morning my neighbor picture, that American movie, good morning my neighbor. It doesn't work like that. These countries you're migrating to, a good number of them are very, very socially isolating society. In essence, people can actually treat you as if you do not exist. That is just the truth. It can be really, really, really very cold. If you can watch a video on culture shock, I can put the link at some point in this video, yeah? So it can be really, really very cold. You can actually see somebody and they pretend as if that you do not exist. Most people that are migrating, they're from this society where the everybody gets involved with everybody. This social life is really very, very heightened to this society where everybody is like, mind their business and all that stuff. So that alone can really get people down to depression. Human beings, we are social beings. We groove in social circle and the rest of them, especially when people come in as single people. It might take time before they start developing relationships. With time, it can be very lonely, especially when there is very cold winter. Yeah, people in some society would agree with this. Lastly, people always say, I am migrating because I want to give my kids an amazing future. They sell off all their property. I want to give my kids that amazing future. In reality, sometimes that amazing future do not really tie into the dream of the migrating parent. I'm going to tell you a very good example. This actually happened in this country. This man migrated with his wife when the child was about 5 years. He got into this country, he got into school. He was taught about all the child rights stuff. His parents can't spark him and the rest. This guy started growing. When he grew up, he mixed up with a lot of peer. Just like there is peer pressure everywhere. Unlike in some society where parents have a strong control, they have a strong hold on these kids. Most of these migrating countries, there is a way you would want to exercise your authority as a kid over an errant child, wanting to bend them. You would all agree with me that sometimes some kids become very difficult, that you really have to stand your ground as a parent and take charge. Even the good book says, spare the rod and spoil the child. But some of these countries can be really very limiting on what you can do. Some of these kids are taught their absolute right in school. They have the right to call the cops even on you, their parent, and they can be taken away, yeah? And foster system, that's another social concept. How well does children do in foster system? But that's not my business. So this guy started mixing up and all that stuff. His father had a very strong family in their original country, wanted to take him over to their original country and retrieve his passport. He spoke to the mother about it, that with the way this boy is going, he is not going to end well. I want to take him home. The mother said, no, I'm not going to support it. So the father arranged everything discreetly, secretly, yeah. And then the day they were supposed to fly, the mother told the boy, by then the boy was about 14 years, yeah, told him that this is what your father want to do. The boy left home angrily, never came back. After some weeks, he came back. He was high on all these substances, you know, people joke about, you know. Then he continued. When he finished high school, he was 18. They went to a party to celebrate their graduation from secondary school and all that stuff. They got into a fight about a girl. You know, somebody was seriously hurt. Somebody was hurt beyond remedy. You know, I'm being very careful about the word, but they deleted the fellow. You understand? At the end of the day, you know, there was investigation and all that stuff. Because he was a minority, a lot of the things were pointed towards him. And when the case went to court, at 18, he was an adult. He was sentenced to 21 years imprisonment. Then the mother, at that point, realized that she had technically ruined this gentleman's life. That led to the breakdown of that marriage. And the man had to establish a new family, you know, and all that stuff. You know, it's a very...
And the child was an only child, right?
Yes, I think so. And at that stage, the woman had gotten to, you know, she can't put to bed another child and everything. So she tried to reconcile with the husband, but the man's mind was made up. This man has started a new family, and, you know, when you get labeled with this type of crime in some societies, it stays with you. So that is just one case scenario, and there are a whole lot of them because of the absolute right kids have in some society. It's usually a very big battle. Invariably, you have to give up a good aspect of your life to really ensure that kids turn out well. So the concept, the reality of migrating for the kids to give them a good future is very relative sometimes, you know, and all that stuff. So yeah, personally, I think if it's your stuff, do not hold back, go for it. But what I do not support with migration is if you know you've got a very good job in your home country, you're doing relatively well, you have a bit of property, you have some social investment, selling off everything because of this picture perfect expectation, you may really get disappointed. Yeah, the chances are there. Thank you very much, people, for sticking around with us.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a massive thumbs up, subscribe, like, share this video, and all that good stuff.
And we'll see you on the next one. Yeah?
Bye.
Bye.